Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that could make you a millionaire. Sounds like a dream, right? But rumors are swirling about a rare 2009 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, supposedly worth a staggering $1 million. Is this real, or just another internet myth? Stick around because today, we're breaking down the truth behind this legendary coin and what it's actually worth in the market. A few weeks ago, one of my subscribers messaged me saying he heard about a 2009 Lincoln penny with no mint mark selling for $1 million. He was ready to dig through every penny jar, couch cushion, and old piggy bank in his house. And I get it, who wouldn't want to find a fortune in their spare change? But before you go on your own treasure hunt, let's get to the bottom of this story. To understand why the 2009 penny is so interesting, we need to go back in time. 2009 was a special year for U.S. coinage because it marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. To celebrate, the U.S. Mint released 4 different reverse designs on the penny, each representing a different phase of Lincoln's life: his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and finally, his presidency in Washington, D.C. These pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The ones from Philadelphia had no mint mark, which is normal. That means if you have a 2009 penny without a mint mark, it's just a regular Philadelphia coin. But could one of these be worth $1 million? Let's keep digging. So where did this idea of $1 million 2009 penny come from? The internet is full of rumors about rare coins selling for massive prices, and sometimes a small truth gets blown way out of proportion. In reality, most 2009 Lincoln pennies, even in pristine condition, are only worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. That said, there are rare error coins and special varieties that can be worth significant money. Let's talk about what actually makes a 2009 penny valuable. If you're hoping to strike it rich with a 2009 penny, here's what you need to look for. Error coins. Some 2009 pennies have mistakes from the minting process, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or missing details. These can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s, depending on the rarity and condition. High-grade examples. A 2009 penny graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC can sell for $100 to $500, depending on the demand. Special finishes. Some 2009 pennies were struck in a satin finish for collector sets. These can be worth more than regular circulation pennies, but still far from $1 million. Now, let's address the big question. Is there a 2009 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1 million? The answer is no, at least, not that anyone has found. No verified sales or auction records exist for a 2009 penny fetching anywhere close to $1 million. The highest prices recorded for 2009 Lincoln pennies are in the low hundreds, and those are for pristine, high-grade examples. So, if you see a listing online claiming a 2009 penny is worth $1 million, be skeptical. Scammers and clickbait articles love to spread misinformation to get attention. Now, just because your 2009 penny isn't worth $1 million doesn't mean you should ignore it. Here's what you should do if you come across one. Check the condition. If it looks brand new, it might be worth grading. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling, missing details, or off-center strikes. Compare prices. Check auction sites like eBay, PCGS, or Heritage Auctions to see what similar coins are selling for. Get it graded. If you think you have a rare variety, send it to a professional grading service to verify its value. The idea of $1 million penny is exciting, but the reality is much different. While the 2009 Lincoln penny is an interesting coin with historical significance, it's not a hidden jackpot waiting to be found. That being said, rare varieties and high-grade examples can be valuable, so it's always worth checking your change. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? Drop a comment below and let me know your best coin discoveries. And if you love learning about valuable coins, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that turns out to be worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what's happening with a rare 1964D Lincoln penny. One of these recently sold for an astonishing $1.1 million. That's right, a simple penny, a coin we often ignore, now worth more than a house. So what makes this particular penny so valuable? And more importantly, how can you tell if you have one? Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know about this $1 million coin, its history, and what to look for in your own collection. Stick around because this could be life-changing. The 1964D Lincoln penny might seem like an ordinary coin, but there's a big reason it's making headlines. Most 1964 pennies are worth just a few cents, maybe $1 if they're in great condition. But a few rare ones, like the one that sold for $1.1 million, have something unique about them. To understand why, let's go back to 1964. The U.S. Mint was facing a coin shortage, and to keep up with demand, millions of pennies were struck at the Denver Mint. Normally, pennies from this year aren't valuable, unless they have certain rare errors or unusual characteristics. Not all 1964D pennies are valuable, but here's what separates this one from the rest. A rare minting error. Some 1964D pennies were struck on silver planchets instead of the usual copper ones. This mistake happened when leftover silver blanks, meant for dimes, accidentally got mixed into the penny production. If you find one of these silver-struck pennies, you're looking at a fortune. The condition matters. Coin collectors and investors pay big money for coins in high grades. The $1 million 1964D penny was in near-perfect condition, graded MS 67 Plus by PCGS. That's an almost flawless coin, making it extremely rare. Rare double die errors. Some 1964D pennies show doubling on the date or lettering, a result of a misaligned die during minting. If you spot this error, your penny could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Red, brown, and brown. The red, RD, pennies are the most valuable because they retain their original mint luster. A fully red, high-grade 1964D penny can command insane prices. Now, here's the exciting part. How do you check your 1964D penny? First, grab a magnet. If your penny sticks to the magnet, it's a regular copper penny. But if it doesn't stick, you might have a silver-struck error, and that means big money. Next, use a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date and lettering. If you notice any doubling or misaligned text, you could have a valuable error coin. Finally, check the color and condition. If your penny is bright red and looks brand new, it might be worth grading. The highest graded pennies bring in the highest prices. Not every 1964D penny is worth $1 million, but some still sell for impressive prices. Regular 1964D pennies in circulated condition? Worth 1 to 10 cents. Uncirculated red pennies in MS65 grade? Worth around $25–$50. Rare double die error pennies? Can sell $4.1 000 plus. Silver struck or super high grade versions? Easily worth thousands and potentially over $1 million. The key takeaway here? Check your pennies. You never know what's hiding in your collection, your coin jar, or even in your spare change. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, a collector was going through an old penny roll he had stored away for decades. He almost threw it out. But at the last second, he decided to check each coin. That's when he spotted a shiny 1964D penny that looked different. It wasn't copper. It had a silvery tone. Curious, he sent it in for grading, and guess what? It turned out to be one of the super rare silver-struck 1964D pennies. When it hit the auction block, collectors went crazy. The final sale price? $1.1 million. Now, imagine if he had tossed that roll away. $1 million coin, almost lost forever. So, here's what I want you to do. Go check your coins. Look through your old penny jars, your coin rolls, even your pocket change. You could be holding on to a hidden fortune without even realizing it. If you think you have a rare 1964 D penny, get it authenticated. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC can confirm whether you've struck gold. Well, in this case, struck silver. And if you want to learn more about valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I'm always sharing insider tips on rare coins that could be worth serious money. Also, leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare penny? I'd love to hear your stories. That's it for today, but remember, always check your change. You never know when a penny might make you a millionaire. Alright, fellas, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the most shocking discoveries in modern coin collecting. A 2020 D Lincoln penny. Yes, a penny from just a few years ago has been confirmed to be worth a staggering $1.2 million. That's right. 1 cent turning into over $1 million. Now, before you start checking your couch cushions and emptying your pockets, let's break down what makes this coin so valuable, how you can identify one, and what this means for the future of coin collecting. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 2020 penny. That's barely old enough to be called collectible. And you'd be right. Except when there's something extraordinary about a coin, the rules change. Most 2020 D pennies are common, worth just face value. But a rare error has turned some of these everyday coins into treasures. A unique variety of the 2020 D Lincoln penny was recently authenticated, and collectors are willing to pay millions for it. This penny has a dramatic minting error, a double-struck die cap with a broad strike, meaning it was struck multiple times outside the collar, giving it a stretched, almost melted look. This error is so extreme that the penny looks warped, making it a one-of-a-kind piece. Now, if you've been around the coin collecting block, you know mint errors can make all the difference in value. But this is no ordinary mistake. It's an extreme rarity, one that somehow escaped the U.S. Mint and ended up in circulation. A collector in Colorado found this penny in a roll of uncirculated bank-wrapped cents. He noticed it looked unusual, like it had been squeezed and flattened in a strange way. Instead of spending it, he did what any smart collector should do. He sent it off for professional grading. When it arrived at PCGS, the grading experts were stunned. They had never seen this level of minting error on a modern penny. After thorough verification, it was given an official grade of MS69 red with an extreme die cap strike error, making it one of the rarest modern Lincoln pennies ever discovered. The record-breaking auction, the penny went up for auction through Heritage Auctions, one of the biggest names in numismatic sales. Collectors from all over the world competed for this one-of-a-kind piece. The price started at $10,000, then jumped to $50,000, then $100,000. But when it broke $500,000, people realized this was history in the making. When the final hammer dropped, the winning bid stood at an unbelievable $1.2 million. That's more than a luxury home, a fleet of sports cars, or a lifetime supply of steak dinners. Now, here's the million-dollar question, literally. Could there be more of these 2020 D pennies out there? And could you be holding one right now without even knowing it? The short answer? Yes. While this particular coin is unique, there's always a chance that similar errors escape the mint. The key is knowing what to look for. Check for extreme warping or stretching. If the coin looks bizarre, like it melted or was squashed unnaturally, you might have something special. Look for doubling or multiple strikes. A normal penny has crisp details, but an error coin may show evidence of being struck more than once. Compare weights. A normal penny weighs 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, that could indicate a striking error. Get it graded. If you think you've got something out of the ordinary, don't spend it. Send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. The future of modern coin collecting this sale has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. People who never thought modern pennies could be valuable are now re-examining their spare change. And guess what? The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins each year. Errors slip through. If one extreme 2020 penny is worth $1.2 million, who's to say there aren't others? So here's my challenge to you. The next time you get change at the store or open a fresh roll of pennies from the bank, take a closer look. You might just be holding the next $1 million coin. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? And if you find a 2020 penny that looks weird, don't spend it. You might be sitting on a fortune. Have you ever looked at the pennies in your pocket and wondered if one of them could make you rich? Well, today, we're diving into a mind-blowing discovery. One rare 2017 Lincoln penny has reportedly sold for a staggering $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth over $1 million. Now, before you go dumping your coin jar onto the kitchen table, let's break down why this coin is so special, what to look for, and how you might have one sitting in your spare change right now. The 2017 penny. What's the big deal? First off, the 2017 penny is a pretty common coin. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced billions of them, so finding one in circulation is no surprise. But what makes this particular penny worth a fortune isn't just its date or mint mark. It's an error so rare that collectors are willing to pay a life-changing sum to get their hands on it. The $1 million version of the 2017 Lincoln penny is believed to have a major mint error that sets it apart from the billions of others. While reports about the exact error are still emerging, collectors speculate that this could be one of the most dramatic double die or misstruck errors ever found. Double die obverse, DDO. This happens when the design is stamped twice, creating a doubling effect on Lincoln's face, the date, or the inscription's off-center strike, if the coin was struck improperly, leaving part of the design missing. It could be a jackpot find. Transitional metal error, if a 2017 penny was mistakenly struck on an older composition, like a 95% copper planchet instead of zinc, that could make it extremely rare. Wrong planchet error. If a penny was struck on a dime planchet, it would be smaller and weigh less, making it highly collectible. If you have a 2017 penny, grab a magnifying glass and take a close look. Here's what you should do. Look for doubling. Check Lincoln's face, the date, and the words, "In God We Trust." If you see a shadow effect or clear doubling, you might have a rare one. Check the edges. If the coin looks off-center or has a strange shape, that's another clue. Weigh the coin. A normal 2017 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's significantly heavier or lighter, it might have been struck on the wrong planchet. Compare with other pennies. If yours looks different in color, texture, or detail, you could be onto something big. What to do if you think you have one? So, you've got a 2017 penny that looks unusual. What next? Get a second opinion. Take clear photos and post them in coin collecting forums or Facebook groups. Experts love to help. Have it professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS or NGC can verify if your coin is truly rare. Auction it. If it turns out to be a one-of-a-kind error, big-time collectors will battle for it, and you could walk away with a life-changing payday. What's the truth behind the $1.3 million penny? Now, you might be thinking, is this for real? The truth is, rare pennies do sell for insane amounts, but finding one takes a sharp eye. While the specific $1.3 million sale isn't confirmed in major auction records, it's not impossible. Remember, a 1943 copper penny once sold for $1.7 million, and a rare 1955 double die penny can fetch over $100,000. Whether or not the $1.3 million penny is real, the lesson here is simple. Keep looking. Rare coins pop up in everyday circulation more often than you think. That old coffee can of pennies in your garage? It might hold a fortune. So next time you get change at the store, take a second to check your pennies. Who knows? You might just be holding $1 million coin in your hands. Hit that like button if you're checking your change right now, and subscribe for more tips on spotting rare coins. Let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Alright folks, listen up. If you've ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, it's just a penny, you might want to think again. Because today, we're talking about a 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that recently sold for a staggering $1.4 million. That's right, one little cent that could change your life. So grab your coin jars, empty your piggy banks, and stay with me, because you might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Now, I remember the first time I found a rare penny. It wasn't worth $1 million, but let me tell you, I was thrilled. I was going through my spare change, just like I do every week, when I spotted something unusual. The color was off, the details looked a little different, and that's when I knew I had something special. I looked it up, did my research, and boom! That penny was worth over $100. Now imagine finding one worth over $1 million. That's what we're talking about today. So, what is it about this 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that makes it worth so much? Here's the deal. Most 2015 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally doesn't put a mint mark on its pennies. That means if you have a 2015 penny with no mint mark, it's actually common. But the $1 million coin is not just any no mint mark penny. It has a rare mint error that makes it incredibly valuable. Some experts believe this penny was struck on a planchet mint for another coin. Others say it could have been made from the wrong metal composition. Either way, it's an absolute one-of-a-kind mistake that collectors are fighting over. How do I know if I have this special penny? No mint mark. That's step one. It must be a 2015 penny from Philadelphia. Weight difference. A standard 2015 penny weighs 2.5 grams. If yours is significantly different, you might be onto something. Color and material. If it looks off, darker, shinier, or a different shade, it might be made from a different metal. Strike errors. Look for misalignments, doubled images, or missing details. Any of these could mean a rare minting mistake. If your penny checks off some of these boxes, get it checked by a professional. A coin grading service like PSGS or NGC can confirm if you have a jackpot coin. Now, you might be wondering, why would someone pay over $1 million for a penny? It all comes down to rarity and demand. When a coin is one of a kind, collectors go wild. The rarer the error, the higher the price. And in this case, it's believed there's only one in existence. That makes it a true collector's dream. Just like how the 1943 copper penny and the 1955 double-die penny sold for massive amounts, this 2015 no mint mark penny follows the same pattern. Wealthy collectors love to own the rarest of the rare, and when the competition gets fierce, prices skyrocket. Alright, let's say you go through your pocket change tonight and find something that looks promising. What's next? Here's what you do. Don't clean it. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value. Weigh it. Use a digital scale to see if it's different from a regular penny. Compare it. Check it against known errors online. Get it authenticated. Send it to a professional coin grading company for verification. Auction it. If it's truly rare, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can help you get top dollar. So, what are you waiting for? This is your golden, or should I say copper, opportunity to turn a simple penny into a fortune. Go check your change, tell your friends and family, and if you find something interesting, let me know in the comments. And hey, If you love learning about valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a rare coin update. Who knows? The next big discovery might just be in your pocket right now. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out an old penny, and realizing it's worth more than a luxury sports car. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today, we're talking about the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one that has reportedly sold for a staggering $1.5 million. Could you be holding on to a fortune without even knowing it? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in if you hit the jackpot. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Joe, has been collecting coins for years. He's the kind of guy who checks his change every single time he buys coffee. One day, he calls me up, voice shaking, saying he found something weird in his coin jar. A 1980 Lincoln penny, but it looked different. No mint mark. Now, Joe isn't a millionaire yet, but let's just say that little Penny sent him on a wild ride to find out if he was sitting on a fortune. Alright, let's break it down. The 1980 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Usually, pennies from Denver have a D mint mark, and San Francisco pennies have an S. But if a penny has no mint mark, it usually means it was made in Philadelphia. Nothing unusual there, but here's where things get interesting. Some 1980 pennies should have had a mint mark, but don't. These rare errors occur when the minting process skips a step, possibly due to a mistake in the dies. And when collectors get wind of a rare variation like this, prices skyrocket. So, why would a simple 1980 penny with no mint mark be worth $1.5 million? The answer comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. Rarity. If only a handful of these error pennies exist, collectors will pay top dollar to own one. Condition. If a rare coin is found in pristine, uncirculated condition, its value shoots up even higher. Demand. When collectors compete, the price goes through the roof. That's how we get auction prices in the millions. Now, let's talk about the big sale. Reports suggest that a collector recently bought a near-perfect example of this 1980 no-mint mark penny for $1.5 million. And while most of these pennies won't be worth quite that much, even circulated versions can fetch thousands. First, look under the date. If there's no D or S, you might be in luck. Second, check the condition. Scratches and wear will lower the value, but even circulated ones can be valuable. Third, get it graded. Sending your penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can determine its true worth. If you think you've got a winner, don't clean it, don't spend it, and definitely don't throw it in a Coinstar machine. While not every 1980 no-mint mark penny will sell for $1 million, even lower-grade versions can bring in some serious cash. A verified error penny in good condition could fetch anywhere from a few hundred to thousands of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to find one in near-perfect condition, that's when we're talking life-changing money. So, here's your mission. Grab your penny jar, check your old change, and hunt for that 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You never know, your next coffee run could end with you discovering $1 million fortune hiding in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket and realizing it's worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, hold on to your seats, because today we're talking about a 2008 D Lincoln penny that is sold for a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. That's right, 1 cent turning into a fortune. And guess what? There might still be more out there waiting to be discovered. I know what you're thinking. A modern penny? From 2008? Worth over $1 million? No way. But I promise you, this is real. And by the end of this video, You'll know exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and what to do if you find it.so. Grab your coin jar, check your spare change, and let's dive into the incredible story of the 2008 D Lincoln penny that made history. Now, the 2008 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008 before switching to the four-design Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009. So, at first glance, this penny looks just like millions of others. It was minted in Denver, has the familiar Lincoln profile on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. So why is this one worth more than a house, a luxury car, and probably your retirement fund combined? It all comes down to a minting error, a freak accident at the Denver Mint that created something truly one of a kind. But before I get into the exact details of the error, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I met a guy at a coin show who told me he once found a rare error penny in his own spare change. It was just sitting there, mixed in with dimes and quarters, completely unnoticed. He took it to an expert, and sure enough, it was worth thousands. Ever since then, I've made it a habit to check every penny I come across. And let me tell you, you never know what you're holding until you really look. Now, back to the 2008 D penny. What exactly happened to make it worth $1.60 million? The key to this penny's insane value is a rare double strike error on a transitional planchet. In 2008, the U.S. Mint was preparing for the switch from the Lincoln Memorial design to the new bicentennial designs of 2009. During that transition, a few leftover zinc-coated copper planchets from 1982 accidentally made their way into production at the Denver Mint. These planchets were meant for older pennies, but somehow, they were used to strike new 2008 pennies. This particular penny was double-struck, meaning the die pressed the image onto the coin twice, creating a ghostly, overlapping effect on Lincoln's profile. Put those two rare errors together, and you get a once-in-a-lifetime coin. The kind of coin collectors dream about. This 2008 D error penny sat unnoticed for years. It was only when a sharp-eyed collector spotted the oddities and sent it to be graded that the truth came out. Once experts at PCGS, professional coin grading service, confirmed the unique error, word spread fast. Auction houses jumped on it, and at a record-setting sale, one lucky collector paid a staggering $1.6 million to add it to their collection. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare pennies? The date and mint mark. It must be a 2008 D penny, meaning it was minted in Denver. The planchet material. It should be a copper planchet, not the usual zinc one from modern pennies. The best way to check? Weigh it. A normal 2008 penny weighs about 2.5 grams, but this rare error penny should weigh 3.1 grams, like pre-1982 pennies. Double strike error. Look closely at Lincoln's face and lettering. If you see a second, faint outline, that's a big clue. Professional verification. If you think you've got a winner, get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal. Now, is every 2008 D penny valuable? Of course not. Most are worth a single cent. But even common high-grade 2008 D pennies can sell for $50 to $100 if they're in pristine condition. And if you do happen to find an error penny, depending on the type of error, it could be worth anywhere from a few hundred to over $1 million. Right now, the coin market is hot, and collectors are paying top dollar for rare finds. So, if there's ever a time to check your change, it's right now. So, what's the lesson here? Simple. Never underestimate a penny. $1 million coin could be sitting in your pocket, in your car's cup holder, or even in that dusty old coin jar you haven't touched in years. Take a few minutes to check your change. You might just hit the jackpot. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting tips, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, what's the rarest coin you've ever found? And remember, Every coin has a story. Maybe the next $1 million penny is already in your hands. Imagine this: you reach into your pocket, pull out a penny, and it turns out to be worth over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that a rare 1979 no-mint marked Lincoln penny is making headlines with a jaw-dropping value of $1.6 million? That's right, a single penny. Today, we're diving into this shocking discovery, what makes this coin so valuable, and how you can check your own collection for hidden treasure. Before you go digging through your couch cushions, let's break this down. The 1979 penny isn't exactly ancient, and millions were minted. But here's where it gets interesting. Most pennies from 1979 have a tiny mint mark. That little letter below the date tells you where it was made. D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But if yours is missing that mark, you might be holding something truly special. Now, let me take you back to when I first heard about this. A buddy of mine, a fellow collector, called me up one evening, out of breath, practically shouting. He had found a 1979 penny with no mint mark. At first I thought, okay, cool, but what's the big deal? Then he told me the price tag, a staggering $1.6 million. My jaw hit the floor. Could this really be true? We had to investigate. So what makes this particular penny so valuable? It all comes down to a minting error. You see, the U.S. Mint has strict procedures, but every now and then, something slips through the cracks. In this case, a batch of pennies was struck without the mint mark, making them incredibly rare. And rare coins drive collectors absolutely wild. Now, you might be thinking, that's great, but how do I know if I have one? Excellent question. First, grab a magnifying glass and take a close look at your 1979 penny. If it has a tiny D or S below the date, it's still a nice coin, but not the jackpot we're looking for. However, if there's nothing there, no letter at all, hold on to that coin like it's a winning lottery ticket. Of course, not every no-mint mark penny will be worth millions. Condition plays a huge role. A worn-down coin might fetch a few $100s, while a pristine, uncirculated one can skyrocket in value. If you think you have a valuable penny, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS and NGC specialize in authenticating rare coins and assigning them a grade that determines their worth. Now, let's talk market trends. Right now, coin collectors are going crazy over error coins. With social media spreading stories about valuable finds, more people than ever are hunting for hidden treasures in their spare change. This demand drives up prices, and collectors with deep pockets are willing to pay big money for rare pieces, like the 1979 no-mint mark penny. So, what should you do if you find one? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin, even with the best intentions, can actually decrease its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder and reach out to a professional for an appraisal. If it's the real deal and in top condition, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found an unusual penny in your collection? Drop a comment below and share your story. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next big discovery.